Do you ever find yourself pausing on the way to the kitchen because you've suddenly run out of breath? It's a moment that can feel alarming, especially if you used to take on stairs and long walks without much difficulty. Many seniors experience these unsettling instances of breathlessness, and it's easy to chalk them up to the natural aging process. But there's a growing understanding among healthcare professionals that some of these symptoms may have an overlooked yet highly treatable cause. In fact, doctors are now warning that certain bronchodilators, when used properly, can be a literal breath of fresh air for older adults, helping you navigate your day-to-day activities with greater ease and security. It's no secret that with age often comes a series of new health considerations. If you're over 65, you might already be taking one or more prescription medications for different conditions. You might also be carefully monitoring changes in your body, like the way your chest feels a bit tighter than it used to, or how you need more frequent breaks during your usual household chores. The concern isn't just about feeling winded, it's about maintaining independence, the ability to travel, or even the freedom to chase after grandchildren in the backyard. Breathing issues can quietly limit the joys that enrich your life, and the problem can worsen if left unaddressed. This is precisely why recognizing the potential role of bronchodilators can be so critical. Over time, lungs can become less elastic, airways can become narrower, and other chronic conditions like COPD or asthma may develop or worsen. At the same time, the fear of taking additional medications or the complexity of managing multiple prescriptions can deter many seniors from talking to their doctors about new or changing symptoms. But here's something crucial. Many older adults discover that, with a carefully chosen bronchodilator plan, they can achieve a noticeable improvement in how they breathe and how they feel overall. This isn't about adding another pill to your daily routine without thought. It's about a targeted solution that addresses a key aspect of your health, your ability to breathe comfortably and stay active. That's what we're here to explore. How a properly guided bronchodilator strategy can help you maintain and even reclaim your capacity to do the things you love with less breathlessness. By the time we're done, you'll understand the misconceptions that might be holding you back. You'll have practical tips for discussing medication options with your healthcare provider, and you'll see that breathing easier after 65 is possible with the right approach. From clearing up common myths to offering step-by-step suggestions, we'll cover 3 essential insights that can protect your safety, enrich your well-being, and help you move forward confidently. Before we dive in, I want to acknowledge a few things. I've spent years working alongside health educators and seniors in various community settings, so I've seen the difference that well-informed choices can make. At the same time, I'm not your personal doctor. Everything we discuss here is meant to encourage an informed conversation with the medical professional you trust. Each person's medical situation is unique, and your physician is the one best positioned to tailor a plan just for you. My goal is to support you by offering clarity and a sense of empowerment. After all, you've accumulated a lifetime of experiences, and you deserve practical, respectful guidance, not one-size-fits-all advice. As we proceed, I invite you to reflect on how your own breathing patterns have changed over time. Have you noticed you can't finish certain tasks the way you used to? Is something, perhaps a persistent tightness or frequent wheezing, holding you back from fully enjoying your day? Keep these personal observations in mind, and feel free to imagine how improving your breathing could reshape not only your daily routines, but also the entire rhythm of your life. Ready to discover how a doctor's warning about bronchodilators might just be the key to saving your breath? Let's begin by tackling the first major misunderstanding many seniors carry with them about breathlessness. The first notion we need to confront is the belief that feeling more short of breath with age is an inevitable, unchangeable reality. It's common to hear friends or family members say something like, "Well, we're not getting any younger," as a kind of blanket explanation for every new discomfort. While it's true that our bodies evolve over time, assuming that breathlessness is simply your new normal can lead to unnecessary limitations. Let me share a story about Betty, who is 72 and lives in a small suburban neighborhood. Betty had been active all her life. She did water aerobics twice a week and loved going on light hikes with her grandchildren. But when she turned 70, she noticed a distinct change. She'd be out of breath after just a short walk around the block. Gradually, she stopped joining her friends for daily strolls, convinced that she was just too old to keep up. Betty's assumption, shared by many seniors, was that this new breathlessness was unfixable. She half expected her doctor to tell her to slow down and accept it as part of aging. But instead, her doctor asked detailed questions about her daily habits and did a lung function test. The results indicated that she might have developed mild COPD, a condition that can improve with the right treatment plan. Betty's doctor suggested exploring a specific type of bronchodilator to help open her airways. It wasn't a cure-all, nor was it the only aspect of her treatment, but it became a foundational tool that helped Betty restore her confidence and reclaim many of her old activities. If you've been told or have assumed that breathlessness is simply part of getting older, it's time to reconsider. Yes, aging can bring physical changes that affect our lungs, but those changes don't always mean you must surrender the activities and independence you value. Bronchodilators, typically inhaled medications, work by relaxing the muscles around the airways, making it easier to inhale and exhale. For seniors, this can be profoundly beneficial, not just for conditions like COPD or asthma, but for general improvement in respiratory comfort. Think of it as gently widening a narrow path so that more air can flow through, relieving the strain that causes you to huff and puff. Now, there's a misconception that these medications immediately fix all breathing problems or that they're too risky for older adults with multiple health conditions. The truth is somewhere in between. Properly supervised by a healthcare professional, a bronchodilator can offer substantial relief. Still, it's important to watch for interactions with other medications, and it may take some trial and error to find the right dosage or the right type of inhaler. Just because you have more than one medical issue doesn't mean you can't incorporate a bronchodilator safely. Communication with your doctor and pharmacist is crucial. They can help manage the risk of side effects, such as mild tremors, palpitations, or headaches, and ensure the medication regimen aligns with your overall health plan. If this feels overwhelming, start small. Keep a simple written log of any new symptoms you experience, especially right after you begin any new medication. Note the time of day, the activity you were doing, and how your body felt. This record will be an invaluable resource at follow-up appointments, allowing your doctor to make informed adjustments. Don't forget to mention other factors, like whether you felt anxious or perhaps forgot to use the inhaler at your usual time. Over time, you and your physician can fine-tune a schedule that makes the most sense for you. Maybe it's using the bronchodilator before your morning walk or in the late afternoon when you typically feel winded. The physical benefits of finding the right bronchodilator regimen can be remarkable. Your walks become more enjoyable, household chores more manageable, and everyday activities less strenuous on your lungs. Emotionally, you might find yourself feeling more hopeful, less anxious about leaving the house, and more motivated to engage in social events. It's amazing how much confidence can blossom simply by being able to breathe more freely. Many seniors rediscover the joy in volunteering, visiting with friends, or simply taking a peaceful moment in the garden, all because they aren't sidetracked by the fear of losing their breath. For now, I'd encourage you to pause and consider if you've ever thought, I guess this breathlessness is just how things are now. If that thought rings a bell, remember Betty's story. There might be an overlooked solution waiting in the form of a bronchodilator or a similar intervention. The next time you see your doctor, mention your concerns. You never know. It could be the conversation that opens a door you thought was closed. After all, being proactive about your health at this stage in life can yield real, tangible benefits that go beyond anything you may have assumed was possible. That brings us to another important question. How do you ensure that even if you use a bronchodilator, you aren't simply swapping one set of frustrations for another? This is where many seniors get stuck, worrying that starting a new medication might restrict them in other ways or lead to complicated daily routines. In reality, a well-chosen bronchodilator often works hand-in-hand with regular activity, such as gentle exercise programs, to give you the best possible outcome. Let's take a closer look at how you can integrate medication with movement and keep your lifestyle both flexible and fulfilling. One of the most damaging myths out there is that if you're on a bronchodilator, you must limit yourself physically to avoid triggering breathlessness or side effects. Nothing could be further from the truth. Frank, a 68-year-old retiree, discovered this the hard way. When his pulmonologist prescribed a bronchodilator for mild asthma, Frank took it as a mandate to rest more often and avoid anything that raised his heart rate too high. He believed that strenuous activities would counteract the medication's effects, or worse yet, lead to greater complications. But after several weeks of relatively sedentary living, Frank noticed his endurance declining, and even normal tasks like mowing the lawn became exhausting. Frank's misunderstanding stemmed from a common assumption that medication alone solves the problem. But optimal lung health, especially for seniors, is rarely a solo act. It's a duet between the medication that helps keep airways open and the habits you practice daily, like gentle stretching, walking, or even short bouts of Tai Chi. Once Frank visited a respiratory therapist, he learned how consistent but moderate physical activity could actually enhance the benefits of his bronchodilator. Exercise helps strengthen the muscles involved in breathing, improve circulation, and can even lower stress levels, which in turn can reduce how often his airways flare up. You might be thinking, but wait, if I'm already short of breath, how can I possibly do any exercise? That's a valid concern, and it's why pairing exercise with the correct medication can be a game changer. The bronchodilator can make it more comfortable to move in the first place, so you're more motivated to engage in activities that boost your overall respiratory strength and stamina. It's a cyclical process. As your breathing becomes easier, you can exercise more effectively, which in turn continues to improve your lung capacity. Of course, the key is to choose exercises that suit your current health status. No one expects you to start training for a marathon overnight. But you'd be surprised at how a small, regular walking regimen or a short daily routine of seated exercises can gradually enhance your breathing. Another common misconception is that if you experience side effects, like a slight tremor or nervousness, your only option is to stop the medication. In reality, many mild side effects can diminish once your body adjusts, or they can be managed by timing your dose differently. For instance, some people find it helpful to use their bronchodilator about 15 minutes before exercising, as it loosens the airways just in time for movement. If, on the other hand, it makes you jittery, you could shift your routine to the late afternoon, giving any initial restlessness time to fade before your nightly wind down. These adjustments don't have to be complicated. They just need to be communicated openly with your healthcare provider so you can craft a plan that respects your comfort and aligns with your daily habits. Once you discover a balance that works, you'll likely notice both physical and emotional improvements. Physically, you may find yourself less fatigued after everyday tasks, like folding laundry or watering the garden, and better able to handle short outings without a long recovery time. Emotionally, there's a real sense of liberation when you realize that neither the medication nor the exercise is restricting you. In fact, they're both tools designed to set you free from the confines of breathlessness. For anyone feeling a bit hesitant about stepping into new territory, consider trying a small experiment. If you've been prescribed a bronchodilator, see if using it before a gentle activity, like a leisurely walk, makes a difference in how you feel afterward. Pay attention to your body's signals. Are you less winded? Do you recover more quickly? Taking these small, measurable steps can reassure you that exercise and medication can function as partners rather than adversaries. This might be a good moment to check in with yourself. Has concern over side effects or overexertion stopped you from exploring a bronchodilator or from being active? If so, think about Frank's story. Sometimes the relief that medication can bring becomes the stepping stone to gradually rebuilding your physical confidence. It's not a sprint toward perfect health, but a steady walk toward better breathing, and every step can be more comfortable than you might expect. We've discussed why breathlessness isn't a foregone conclusion and how combining a bronchodilator with moderate physical activity can empower you to live more fully. But there's one more critical piece to the puzzle: recognizing that a medication, no matter how effective, is only part of a holistic approach to breath management. You might be using the best inhaler on the market and still feel limited if you're not paying attention to other factors that influence your lung health, like environment, stress, and overall lifestyle patterns. This is where the concept of integrative care comes in, reminding us that well-being is about more than just treating symptoms. It's also about building a supportive environment that nurtures your respiratory system. Patricia, who is 79, learned this lesson after a frustrating bout of repeated wheezing. She had been on a bronchodilator for months, and initially it seemed to help. Then out of nowhere, she started having flare-ups again, especially at night. At first, Patricia assumed the medication had stopped working. She considered switching prescriptions or increasing her dosage. But with a bit of investigation, she discovered that her home environment was filled with triggers. Her bedroom windows were rarely open for fresh air, and her beloved cat's dander was a constant presence. The medication was battling issues that Patricia herself could control by creating a cleaner, more ventilated living space and setting up a separate sleeping area for her pet. Older homes can be prone to dust or mold, and many seniors keep windows sealed to maintain a comfortable temperature. But stale, recirculated air can exacerbate breathing problems over time. Even small changes, like running an air purifier in high-traffic rooms, can amplify the benefits of your bronchodilator. Another factor is household chemicals. Strong cleaning solutions, air fresheners, or even certain scented candles can irritate the airways. Adjusting these seemingly minor elements can spell the difference between struggling with ongoing symptoms and enjoying a level of respiratory peace you didn't think possible. Lifestyle factors go beyond your home environment too. High stress can cause shallow, rapid breathing, which essentially fights the benefits of a medication meant to open up your airways. Techniques like controlled breathing exercises, meditation, or even short intervals of mindful relaxation can help you maintain a calmer baseline. When your stress levels are consistently lower, the medication has a better chance of doing its job without interference from your body's tension responses. Diet also plays a subtle but meaningful role. While there isn't a single magic food for perfect lung health, a balanced diet rich in fruits and vegetables can support your immune function and potentially reduce inflammation that makes breathing more difficult. Proper hydration, too, helps to keep mucus thinner and easier to clear from the airways. It might sound trivial, but each of these small elements, stress management, clean air, balanced diet, works synergistically with any medication you're on, helping you get the most out of every dose. Another overlooked piece is medication management. If you're dealing with multiple prescriptions, it's easy to lose track, skip doses, or accidentally double up. That can compromise both the safety and effectiveness of your bronchodilator. A simple system, like using a weekly pill box or setting alarms on your phone, can ensure you stick to your regimen consistently. It's also wise to schedule periodic medication reviews with your doctor or pharmacist, especially if you're experiencing new symptoms or side effects. Their expertise can help you navigate a safe path through potential interactions, so you don't end up having to choose between relief for your lungs and relief for other conditions. The emotional payoff of looking at your health in this well-rounded way cannot be overstated. Patricia, after updating her home environment and adopting a simple relaxation routine, not only slept better but felt more in control. She realized that her ability to breathe better wasn't just at the mercy of her prescriptions. That realization can be incredibly empowering. You're no longer a passive recipient of healthcare. You become an active partner in your own well-being, capable of identifying and adjusting factors that influence how you feel every single day. If you're finding these ideas useful, consider how they might apply to your own situation. Are there triggers in your environment? Do you feel stress bubbling up frequently? Are you hydrated and eating foods that support rather than hinder your respiratory comfort? Remember that no medication operates in a vacuum. By caring for the total picture, environment, activity, nutrition, and mental well-being, you enhance the protective power of your bronchodilator and set yourself up for a safer, more comfortable life. We've covered some critical territory. First, we dismantled the notion that breathlessness is simply an unavoidable part of aging. Then we examined how combining a bronchodilator with moderate exercise can unlock a new level of freedom and help you regain confidence in your everyday life. Finally, we explored the importance of an integrative approach, one that includes environmental adjustments, stress management, and other lifestyle strategies to maximize the effects of any medication you're using. Each of these points taken together suggests that you have more power over your respiratory health than you may realize. While getting older can bring its fair share of challenges, it doesn't have to rob you of your capacity to breathe comfortably, stay active, and enjoy the simple moments that make life worth living. you can take steps that make a real difference. Even small decisions like opening a window or being diligent about how you store and use your medications. Now is the moment to consider the next right action for yourself. Perhaps you're ready to talk to your doctor about whether a bronchodilator is appropriate for your specific condition. Maybe you already have a prescription, but you haven't explored how exercise or a cleaner home environment could boost its effectiveness. Whatever stage you're at, there's a gentle urgency in acting sooner rather than later. The longer you wait, the more you risk allowing breathlessness to limit your activities and erode your confidence. The good news is that the path forward doesn't need to be overwhelming or frightening. It can be deliberate, well-informed, and tailored to your comfort level. Imagine how it would feel, a month or two from now, to notice that you can walk a bit farther or tackle a favorite hobby again without pausing to catch your breath. Picture yourself finding renewed joy in social gatherings, free from the nagging worry that a coughing spell or sudden shortness of breath will derail your day. Small changes really can translate into big improvements over time, especially if you stay consistent and continue to communicate openly with your healthcare providers. As you think about incorporating these strategies, let's outline a few possible next steps, each offering a different level of engagement. The simplest step is to monitor your breathing and jot down any patterns or triggers you notice. You can do this today or tomorrow, and it requires no special equipment. A more committed step could be scheduling a conversation with your physician, nurse practitioner, or pharmacist about your current respiratory status and any potential role for a bronchodilator. If you want to go all in, you might also consider consulting with a physical therapist or respiratory therapist to create a gentle exercise plan that pairs well with your medication schedule. Wherever you choose to begin, know that you're not alone in this journey. Countless seniors are exploring how best to maintain their lung health and keep the freedom they cherish in daily life. By gathering knowledge, asking questions, and making thoughtful changes, you're taking ownership of your well-being, a decision that can open doors to experiences you might have assumed were closed for good. Above all, remember that this is your life and your body. The goal is not to become dependent on a medication, but to use it as a tool that supports the vibrant, engaged life you want to live. You've accumulated wisdom through decades of experiences, and you have the capacity to make informed decisions about your health. As new challenges arise, your determination and openness to learning will continue to serve you well. Breathing is fundamental, so fundamental we often forget it's something we can influence. By recognizing the potential of bronchodilators and combining them with a mindful, balanced lifestyle, you can protect your safety, boost your daily comfort, and reclaim a sense of control over how you move through the world. That's a gift worth pursuing at any age. Thank you for spending this time with me. If you found this helpful, consider sharing it with someone else who might benefit. Feel free to reach out, connect with a community, or leave a comment about your experiences. Each voice adds to the collective wisdom we can all draw upon. And if you haven't already, talk to your doctor and see where this path leads you. May you move forward with confidence, knowing that your breath can truly become one of your greatest allies in living life to the fullest at 65, 75, 85, and beyond.